Okay. So, hello, good morning. A warm welcome to all our participants. I'm very happy and very glad that we have so many of them here on premise and also remote. I don't know how much, but it's very impressive for me that have so many future or already coders here in this meeting room. And I think it's a nice location and yeah, welcome to all. And my name is Leo Hintersteiner. I'm the Chief Information Officer at Walter Group, and that's all of me. So I wish you a very good hackathon and wish you all the best and good luck. And whenever you have questions, here is Ivan. He knows everything. Thank you.
Hello guys, that's from my side. But the microphone is only for the stream, so don't be surprised that you don't hear it over the boxes. It's for the participants who now hear is remote. So welcome also from my side. Just want to lose a couple of words for you and tell you a bit about Walter Group, about the timeline that we're gonna have today, and maybe Ivan. So I'm head of data at Walter Group. I started my journey like 6 years ago. So we have a nice data science team here who's also participating in the hackathon. I'm very excited about the participants. It's very mixed today. We have professionals here from different companies, from partners like Kraftwerk, Trustbit, who's also hosting the event with us together, from IBM. We have students here, we have postdocs, and very nice surprise, the college or school today. Like, I wish I had a teacher like that back in my days. So I'm very HTL, I don't know what's the English. Yeah, very excited. So Walter Group, who is Walter Group? So we are like specialists in processing full truckloads. We ship about 1.5 million or 2 million loads a year on road or combined transports on train and ferry. We have also one giant company called Containix, who is producing like offices and storage solutions, like in form of a container. We're operating in Europe, also Northern Africa and Near East part. So today we host this event as a IT department from Walter Group, and yeah, we employ about like more than 100 people building digital services for LKW Walter and for Containix. We are very successful in leveraging like cloud streaming and AI technologies. And today we, together with Trustbit, compiled for you one of the problems that we're going to tackle today. That's a problem that we're actually also solving for LKW Walter. It's a transport planning. Imagine you have like customers, and Florence smiling, he knows it very well. You have customers, you have trucks, and now you need kind of to assign them. So which truck you want to send to which customer. So we simplified the problem for you, so it's a simplified version. I hope you're going to have fun. So maybe about the timeline. Now is the first part of the competition. We have a little lunch break at 12:30 for 1 hour, and then we have a second part of the competition. The guy's going to tell you more about this. Then later we're going to announce the winners, and yeah, and then we're going to chill and have some beers. I hope you stick a bit longer. So like at 5, I think it's over in terms of competition, but the drinks are there. For the logistics, yeah, you can see the timeline as well on the page. We have some fridges there. There are drinks for you, non-alcoholic at the moment. So let's hold on till the evening. Don't cheat. Play fair, and yeah, good luck with the competition. And I hand over to Rinat, who is the brain of the simulation framework, basically, together with Zeb. I developed this framework that he's gonna explain to you. I played with it a couple of weeks ago. Very nice. Like, it took me 5 minutes to grasp it, so I'm sure you're gonna have fun with this.
Okay, thank you, Ivan. So, welcome to the hackathon and the simulation. As Ivan mentioned, this is a problem that data scientists and transport managers at LKW Walter are solving on everyday basis. And we tried to get the essence of this problem so that you get to sit in their seats. The idea is, could you please switch to the runtime? The idea is that we build a virtual world. It's very simplified, but we tried to grasp the core constraints and the problems for this world. So this is a simplified Europe. There is a map of Europe, and there are trucks driving for that Europe. This map of Europe has supply chains, it has roads, it has cities, it has warehouses. For the first part of the competition, we're going to keep things very simple. You're driving a truck, and that's what the map might look like, or it might have changed slightly. It doesn't really matter. The important part is that your trucks, they drive on the roads. When truck drives, it uses some fuel. And you're in the seat of a tiny company that tells drivers what to do. So as Seb will explain later, each truck gets to make a decision at the important parts of the timeline. But every time your truck will be asked a question, which cargo should I pick up? Which cargo should I pick up? And when you pick a cargo, it implies that since each cargo has a delivery location, so the truck will drive to that pickup location, then it will drive to the drop-off location, and then it will ask for the next question. While this happens, since this is a deterministic simulation, time will pass, fuel will be spent, companies have to pay their money every week, and every company is starting with a balance. So in essence, what you're competing, you try to run your truck company as efficiently as possible. So if you pick up cargoes that are not worth the money, you'll eventually run out of money on your account. If you go too far to pick up cargo and it's not worth the money, you'll run out of money. And the idea is to make as much money as possible, to be at the top of the leaderboard and win the rounds. The simulation runs for 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, we try to run a couple of months, a couple of years. That depends on how fast your agents are responding. We restart the simulation every 5 minutes. Means that if you push the code to your agents, and Seb will explain how to do that, then your change will be picked up in the next simulation run. So in essence, you can push your code, and then within 5 minutes, see how it's faring against other trucks. And the last part is that this simulation is collaborative. So you get to explore this world together. So for example, if you come up with a truck that maybe figures out that there is a lot of high-tech production in Berlin and goes there, and everybody else goes there, it means that the supply chain will run out of cargoes in that location, and the balance will shift. So we have a simplified supply chain, we have simplified economics, we have logistics, we have dependencies there. For the first round, we keep it things simple. So the things I have to count for, there is a fuel cost, so driving takes fuel, which costs money. Driving takes time. Drivers don't get tired. Warehouses are like essentially the locations for picking up and dropping stuff are open 24/7. You don't get traffic jams, and you don't get fined for putting too much CO2. And traffic and drivers don't get into the accidents if they don't sleep too much. So the first round is simple. To get to learn it, to figure out how it works. And so please enjoy the game. If you have any questions, if something crashes, talk to us. We'll fix it on the fly. And Seb will actually now explain to you how exactly to get into the game. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Renat. Could you please scroll down to the onboarding part? You can see the domain and the URL of the repository that we will use for today up there, but you can also check it out in Slack. So at this point, I ask everybody of you to join our Slack workspace. It's just there for the hackathon, and in the Slack workspace, we can, yes, that's the right one. In the Slack workspace, you can ask questions, you can just make sure that you know everything, because we announce every important information there. if you ask yourself, where can I find the Slack workspace link, just check out the Hackathon homepage. You should find the Slack link there, or you have probably also received emails and so on. Okay, and there you will also find the link to this repository. And a bit down, so we are now, I think, in the lower bottom of the page, you will find this onboarding information. For now, let's just do the onboarding. And I think you're probably forming teams here. So, of course, everybody can also just be their own team. You don't have to form a team, but if you want, you can do that as well. And maybe if you checked out the homepage that we published, you will see the prices will be different for teams than they are for individual participants. So just decide for yourself, do you want to work alone or in a team? If you are a team, only one person of your team has to go through this introduction. It's not necessary for everybody to do it in the team. Okay, so what is needed? One person, at least in the team, needs a GitHub account. So if you don't have one, you have to set it up now. And then you can just follow those steps here. The first thing we need is a new repository. Why do we need that? We created 3 templates for 3 different languages. So they all do the same stuff. It's the same functionality. But you can decide which programming language you want to use for the hackathon today. We have C#, Java, and Python. And you will find the links down there. And we can probably just maybe also just show how we create a new agent. Maybe Rinat wants to help us with that. So Rinat, I think you really like Python, right? Do you want to click on that? And we will just show them how we can create a new, how we can create a new repository. Use this template button up there. Create a new repository. Then you have to select the owner. In this case, it's me, Seburgi. Right? And just some name. Doesn't matter. Thank you. It should be private, please. Because if you don't make it private, everybody else here can see your code and they can check out your strategy. They can maybe just copy it. So I would suggest use the private repo here. And now GitHub creates a new repository just using the other repository as a template. Perfect. Thank you, Rinat. Let's go to agent.json file. And this is the information for your agent. So please enter a unique ID here. The runtime will make sure that everybody uses unique IDs. We can also do that here, right? Perfect. And depending on if you're a team or not, set the is fleet flag. So if you're a team, then yeah, multiple people, you set it to true. And if you are participating alone, if you are your own team, then set it to false, because then you are in a different price section. So the prices are different regarding teams or individual participants. So in this case, yeah, we don't care. Let's just leave it at true. And now we can go back to the first page. Again, back please to the documentation. So, and another time to the documentation of the hackathon, the public page. Okay, and now you finished step 1 of the onboarding, which is already most of the work, and 2. And now we can install the Hackathon GitHub app. So what is this? This GitHub app makes sure that we have access to your repository, to your code. So we click on this link. Then we click on configure. Select Seburgi because it's my repository. In your case, it's a different one, of course. And we make sure that we only select specific repositories. So it doesn't matter if you install it to all, but it doesn't really make sense. So pick the one repository that you just created. Okay. And of course, you can see here, yeah, that's right, yeah. We need some access to your files, so to the code and to specific file and so on. but it's just this repository. So don't be afraid. We don't use all your repositories or something like that. Yeah. Great. And now we verify that it worked. So if you click on the agents JSON file, within a few seconds, we should see that we have already been onboarded. Yes, there we are. NPC demo. So this is a file in this public repository. And if you see this, and if there is not an error, status onboarded, here we can see an error, then it worked. Then you are already in the system. And for Borkowitz, please check out the numbering and format of the ID. It seems that you used a different format than expected. Okay, so then please go back one step. And I just want to show you one thing regarding the build system. So I'm not sure if you are already familiar with how you usually structure your software development, but usually you have a continuous integration system, so where all your code is checked and built and so on. And we also have that for the hackathon, but you don't have to set it up yourself. It's automatically working. So let's go to the actions section of this repository, of the public one. So we set it up that everybody can see all the builds. Yeah, you were right already. It's the actions up there. And we can see that my team agent was already built. So this one is already now running in the simulation when the next simulation starts. And if you see your team here and it's green, then you did everything right. Then your image, so in the background we are building a Docker image out of it, but it's just a side note. Your image will be participating and you will be in the simulation. So that's the step that you should do now. Don't start to code anything, just change your unique ID and onboard the new agent. And then you can, of course, give your team access to your code if you want, but you can decide for yourself. If you have any questions, if you have any troubles, we have on Slack the support channel. In the support channel, you can ask any question. So we will always help you there. But you can also come to us here, of course. Yeah. Any questions for now, for the onboarding? Okay. So if your onboarding is done, please read the documentation. You will then see how all this works. You will get all the information for traces. Maybe Rinat also wants to show us the dashboard a bit. So that's our central for today.
Just two more things that might be relevant later as we go deeper. So we have already explained in this documentation, but essentially we have real-time dashboard. It gets updated 15 minutes. You can see it on the projector, or you can go to the telemetry endpoints. It will be there. And in addition to that, we also have traces. So whenever a simulation runs, we record every step, every decision made by each of your systems and by the non-playing characters. So if you want to explore that, you can download the traces and you can use Chrome or Chromium in tracing mode to display exactly the timeline, like where each truck was driving, which cargo did it take, what was the fuel consumption. It's all written in the documentation, and if you want to do some data mining analysis to find some hidden dependencies and ways to make more money, you can use traces for that. So the dashboard is for that rapid feedback, and traces are for detailed investigation if you feel like it. Enjoy, have fun, ask questions.